broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the concert experience right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I am your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by a fabulous entertainer who will have you cha-chaing all throughout your city. Please help me welcome to the concert experience, Mr. AB Soto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cha-cha, bitch. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Now, you are looking super fantastic today.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, I knew that I was going to have you on the show today, and I didn't even try. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it real plain and simple, because there is no way I'm going to be able to compete with whatever that you have coming through today, and you did not disappoint.
That's sweet. Thank you. I thought I'd dress up. Why not? It's a Monday.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just, a little daytime wear.
Yeah, dress to work today. Why not?
So let's chit chat about all things you. Now, you are actually from East LA.
Yes.
Which I feel like is very rare to meet and talk to someone that's actually born and raised in LA.
Right.
Like, you guys are more of a rarity than people who are not from here.
Right.
So what was it like for you, just like growing up and you coming into your own and finding your zhuzh and all that? Tell us about that.
All of that.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up East LA. Both of my parents are from Mexico. We're first generation here. And, we grew up very like Latin home, very conservative, working parents. Being out, or having a career in the arts was never really like an option or something that like, we saw. We were just like too busy like living and surviving, right?
Yeah.
So, but she found her way, and she listened to music, and she would sing and dance in her bedroom.
Yes.
And I eventually decided to go to fashion school right out of after high school, and then stopped doing that. I felt this like urge to dance, and so I went to an audition and took classes and got signed by an agency, and I was dancing, and before you know it, I was writing music, and decided to just kind of like throw caution to the wind and just pursue what I ultimately wanted to do, which is to sing and dance and act and be the cha-cha bitch that she is.
I see it. I feel like we have such a parallel life, because I know when I was younger, I actually wanted to be a singer and a dancer, and I used to put on a concert for my family for any reason.
Yes.
Earth Day, I was performing.
Okay. Yes. Any chance.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's just like, it's so, ingrained in you, I think, and you don't discover it until later, because I know I didn't discover my love for the arts until later, but being a male, it was just kind of like, no, right, you can't do that,
right,
you know what I mean? But now it's just kind of like, go at it.
Yeah, and it always felt for me like, now that I look back at it, like it. Until this day, it's like this urge, like to give birth to something you just kind of have to like let out of you.
Yeah.
And I remember now, looking back at like my childhood, I was performing at every little single chance I could.
Yeah.
And my dad would even actually give me the opportunity to like clear the living room. And I would say, Dad, I need an hour. He's like, are you going to perform? And I was like, yes. So I would put MTV on, put music on, and he would go outside and do yard work or go to the gym, whatever. And he would allow me that space. And now, like, I took it for granted at that time, but now it was just such a beautiful thing that my dad was doing for me. And I guess in his own little way was his way of accepting me as a whole and saying, all right, son, do your thing. I don't know what the hell you're doing in there, but do you, boo. And I'm doing me. So,
And did you find it hard, like, growing up, and eventually, we all find ourselves and discover our sexualities and all that kind of stuff. Was it tough for you, like, growing up and discovering, like, who you are so that you can present us with this fabulousness that we have now?
It was, it was, like, I guess I would get picked on in school, and I bullied is the word, if you will. But it never really, I don't know. I always had a really strong sense of self. I was always very introverted. I was always an older soul.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just like, I couldn't wait to graduate and just get out of high school and junior high and everything like that. I didn't come out to my family until I was 16.
Yeah.
And when I came out, it was just like a matter of fact. It was just like, hey, like, I want you to meet my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so it was never really like, I'm out, like a huge thing, get the family together.
Yeah.
So they were just kind of like, okay, let's just take it in, keep it moving.
At 16, you were fast.
I was a hey girl, like, and it was actually a really sad time in my life because it was the night that my dad passed away.
Oh, no.
And I needed my boyfriend at the time to come be with me to, my brother was there, he had his girlfriend, my mom was there and she had her boyfriend. And I was just sitting there like, and we were all kind of mourning the loss of my dad. It was more like a shock that night. And so I kind of needed someone to be there with me. So I said, hey, my boyfriend's coming over, I want you guys to meet him.
Yeah.
And I pulled my mom aside and I was like, I don't want anything to change between us, blah, blah. And she's like, no, if anything, I love you more. And my brother kind of took it a certain way. It was just very like hush hush.
Yeah.
But it was fine. And I just lived my life. And it wasn't like I changed who I was or how I acted. I was always just very comfortable the way I spoke and the way I dyed my hair. It was just very that,
Yeah.
So, after that moment, everything became easy for me because it was like, okay, I lost my dad today. I just came out. Like, what else?
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
So everything after that was just like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
What do I have to lose,
Yeah. So, and then as you ventured into music, was there any worry about being an openly gay artist? Were you like worried about that, or did you take the bull by the horn and say, listen, I'm just going to do me and receive it? So like, how did that influence how you would, so LA to say this, but brand yourself, as an artist?
Right. Well, I definitely didn't know that I was going to, brand myself as, a gay performance artist. Not that that's how I brand myself, but I am gay and I'm a performance artist, right?
Yeah.
So, but as I was a backup dancer and I thought that that's what I was really going to do, but when I was dancing at the time, I felt like I had to, even though she's very butch, she had to push it up even more to play backup to these like female recording artists.
So you were acting too.
I was acting. She was really acting. And so I felt like I was waking up, going to do what I really love, like my dream, pursuing my passion. But at the same time, I felt like I was killing my soul a little bit by going back into the closet. I was living my dream, pursuing my passion, but still like going back into the closet, and that kind of hurt.
Yeah.
So I kind of reevaluated it, took some time off, and then I was just like, out of the frustration of like not going to auditions because I didn't want to shave, I didn't want to play the stereotypical Latin role, and even this now is my own like fuck you to, or can we say that, is my own.
Yeah, you always say it and then say, oh, I'm sorry, can we say
right?
that?
How does that work? Yeah. So this was like, my embracing my roots and just kind of like, not poking fun, but just kind of like telling Hollywood, you want me to be the stereotypical Latin role? Well, I'm going to give it to you on my terms. Here it is, and take it and eat it. So it was a struggle, but I felt like I had a lot to say, and I wanted to, give gay music a makeover, give gay culture a makeover, give fashion a makeover, give Hollywood a makeover, give music a makeover, what it means to grow up gay in East LA, to be progressive, to listen to different genres of music, to be inspired by the world around me, I wanted to put that in my work. And what comes out after putting everything in that blender is a mixture of house and R&B and pop, and I'm gay, I butch it up a little, I play with my femininity. I just embrace who I am, and I just want to be comfortable in that, to inspire other people and to just kind of change this archaic stereotype of what it means to be Latin in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, and that is very inspiring, especially, to let this generation know that it is okay to be yourself, and it is okay to embrace yourself. And if you're butch, be butch. If you're femme, be femme. Just be you.
Right.
At
If
the
you're
end
both,
of the day.
be both.
Be both. Exactly. Who are some of your musical influences?
Let's see. Well, I love a lot of 90s house.
Yes.
Anything that came out of the 90s.
Yes.
Pop, R&B, even country. Like
Yes.
anything from the 90s is just amazing. It was a pure time in music when things weren't really so contrived. People weren't after like selling records. They were just like making music because they loved it, and that inspired sales and records and everything like that. Now it's the game has changed. So I'm definitely inspired by anything that happened in the 90s. I get a lot of inspiration by like activists that came before us, like the 70s era, the Castro, San Francisco, Harvey Milk, RuPaul, Andy Warhol, Basquiat. Anything that happened in the past, you know, that really inspires me.
Yeah. I can sense that because when I was listening to your latest video, See Me, I was like, this is so, like, I feel like so 90s, so like in Living Color, Fly Girl.
Exactly.
Like,
She's
this is the
Fly
intro.
Girl, yes.
You got the boots, you got everything. You about to, like, really get it.
Yeah.
So I felt that. And, the 90s is such a fun time that, like, I can sense that, like, that's where you are. But you're so fun anyway with your music and how everything is just very upbeat and very playful and everything like that. And, of course, we have to talk about Le Fashion.
Yes, the fashion.
Where do you get what inspires your fashion? Because it's so eclectic, it's so like individual. Thank you. Like where do you draw that inspiration from? Because some people will look at it and go, huh? But some people look at it and go, yes, like do it.
And I like that. I like both of those reactions because it's a performance. I studied fashion after high school, and I worked in the industry for some time, and there was also like a lot of rules to follow there, and she's kind of punk and rebellious, and she likes to break the rules and everything like that.
You don't look like a rule follower at all.
Yeah, right. So so I think, music and dance and acting, that's a performance. But also, too, fashion for me is a silent performance that says a lot about who you are, what you're trying to say. And I also, for me, it's more of like making people think and making people question, like, well, why is he wearing that? Or what's the idea behind that? Or is he playing that up? Is he making me feel, it's a performance, if I'm wearing a blue quinceañera dress or like a blue mariachi, outfit.
Which I love the blue quinceañera dress,
she was
by the
cute,
way.
Right? She was very easy to travel with. In Europe, I stuck her in a duffel bag. We did that tour. It was so simple. So for me, it's just more, playing around with, it's drag, It's like, it's a dress. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I wear. If it's blue eyebrows, if it's a pink poofy dress, if it's an Aztec outfit, it's just drag. It's just articles of clothing. And I think people shouldn't get so hung up on stereotypes and cliques within the gay community or just in life in general, It's all clothes, because at the end of the day, who you are, the essence of who you are, regardless of what race, what sexual preference, that's what really matters, And I like to play with that.
Yeah, I can tell.
I like to confuse people and like to, get them aroused and then turn them off and piss them off and then just kind of have them just be like, oh, that was cute.
I remember a few years ago when we were at the World of Wonder Christmas party, and you came in with the blue quinceañera dress, and I was like, I live.
This girl, right?
I live. You twirled all throughout that party, and I was like, I love it. I was like, you do you.
Yes. With a little paper crown, little yellow paper crown.
Everything.
That paper crown, by the way, so that, I was living in New York at the time, and I had this idea for a crown, and I wanted it to look very crafty and inspired by Basquiat, but like make it kind of like, butch queen, like up in pumps at a ball. So I walked my little butt to the Walgreens across the street, and I got me that $1 paper crown, and I marked a lot, made the little outline, and that became a thing. I wore that for a couple of years, and every time, because I would sweat a lot after every show, so I would have to get a new one every single day. But now it's become like a Halloween costume. People on Instagram, they do the AB Soto like crown. Just a little fun fact.
Just a little fun.
Just a little fun fact. Yeah, the crown.
You got people doing crowns. You got people
crowns,
cha-cha. You are a
Yes.
trendsetter.
I try.
You don't try. You do.
Thank you. Thank
now,
you.
Speaking of fashion, I sort of went a little bit when I saw this. You got to work with Patricia Field. Am I not?
Yes.
Am I right? Yeah.
Yes.
And she did Sex and the City, which we all love.
Amazing.
Deep down inside, I'm Carrie, by the way.
Who isn't?
But although my friends remind me that I'm more Charlotte, but I'm a claim Carrie.
Okay, I'm a Carrie, little Samantha.
Yeah.
Little Carrie. Little Carrie, little Samantha, and a Charlotte. Charlotte.
Little Charlotte? Yeah. I mean, I just want to claim Carrie all the way.
Right, of course. Who doesn't want to be Carrie? Yeah.
No one wants to be Miranda. But how was it working with such a legendary, designer, someone who is just known for fashion?
Yeah. Well, they're always, all the kids that work there, everyone that comes through there is brilliant, has a vision, inspirational. I have a lot of good friends there. I go in, I try on clothes. It's just it's a party,
Yeah.
It was more than just like a retail shop or a boutique. It was just like a coffee shop. Like it had this vibe, And so I've always taken inspiration from there and worn a lot of the stuff in my videos. And so I reached out to them to, get some, because I wanted this video See Me to go very 90s, very like simple, clean, that essence of New York. And so I reached out to them. They're like, yeah, we want to, come pull from the store and you can use every look that you want for the video, and we'll cross promote. And they were so nice to me, and they let me just pull like thousands of dollars of clothes, and we styled it, me and the director Aaron Cobbett. And it came out really good.
That sounds like pure heaven. Like when you're young and you go through like your parents' closet and you're like trying on their clothes, that's like an upgrade. Like that's a bigger closet with like more clothes. I would have said, you know what, cancel everything. I'll be here all day.
And we were. We were in that fitting room. We were just trying on looks and looks, and we had to edit. But I'm very happy with how it came out. It was awesome.
Speaking of working with people and cross promoting, and we mentioned World of Wonder just a little while ago, but you're one of their network spotlights as well, and you've been working with them for quite some time. How did that help your music, and how did that especially get it out to their network? Is such a niche group of people, and it's drag queens and it's transgender people and everything. How did that elevate your career by working with them?
Well, it definitely gave me a lot more exposure. They have a really great following. They're very creative over there. They know what they're doing. They're very like on the pulse of like the next wave of like what art in Los Angeles is gonna be, and if not around the world. But they remind me of like an early MTV. You know what I'm saying? Like just very they're just down for the cause. And they're all really nice to me over there, and they're all fans, and I'm a fan of their content. So we've been working together, and we've have some secrets coming down the lines and stuff like that.
I want you to spill the tea.
The tea. And, well, the one thing that I can't talk about is obviously the remix of Cha Cha Bitch with RuPaul, which everyone has been waiting for. And
you can't keep the kids waiting.
I know. But it's out of my control. It's in the Wizards' hands, and the Wizards will release it upon the universe. And when that happens, it'll be out.
It'll
and
be
everyone
very magical,
will know.
and you guys will get your entire life.
Yes, and they will be getting their lives, and then they will leave me alone, and that's that. And but yeah, I'm excited for that. Working with Ru was such a pleasure, and he's so wise and inspirational and down to earth, and the song is amazing, and I'm just like, trust me, I'm at the gym and I listen to it on my iPod, and I'm just like, can this just come out already? But everything that's worthwhile takes time.
Yes,
and
of course.
And so that'll be out soon.
Yes.
More things to come from the World of Wonder crew.
Any advice that Ru gave you while you guys were working together?
Get it together.
Yes.
Because there's a new queen getting off at the Hollywood and Highland Station right now. And they're in class right now, getting ready to come and take your spot.
Yes. And you shall not be dethroned from no new queen.
No. Every day there's a queen at the Hollywood and Highland Station that just arrived.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Just arrived with their bags.
That's
Mary
it.
Tyler Moore, throw the hat up in the air.
She's ready.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, just watching you and just watching how hard you work, I think it would be very hard for that queen to come for your spot.
Come for me. There's room for everyone.
There's room for everyone.
And there's the right time for everyone.
Yes.
And there's that Nika Costa song. There's the right time for every star to shine. There's room for everyone.
Right now it's you.
But right now it's
shining.
me.
Get out of my way.
Princesa.
Now, you just got back from Tokyo.
Yes.
And how was that experience and getting them to cha-cha over there?
Right,
Because they were lit. I saw a little clip on your
yes,
Twitter.
yes.
And I was like, they are cha-cha-ing the house down over there in Tokyo.
They were living. Yes. It's my second time in Japan. And they are always so welcoming, and they embrace me, and they love the art, and they're down for the cause, and they're always just so appreciative that you're there performing. They're so sweet, hospitable. And I did 2 shows the same night at the club called Fancy Him in Nichome, which is the gay area. And it was amazing. They loved it, and I performed 4 songs each set, so it was 8 songs. They loved it, and I was really curious, this time around with performing Cha-Cha Bitch and the songs from this album being a little bit more, Latin influenced, how they were going to receive that. And Cha-Cha Bitch was their favorite.
Of course.
They knew it. They were like, that's the guy, the Cha-Cha Bitch, the Cha-Cha Bitch. Because I was out, I was there for almost a week. And so before I went to a few parties, and because it was Christmas, and I spent Christmas there. So I went to a few house parties, and they were like, the Cha-Cha Bitch guy, the Cha-Cha Bitch guy. And I was like, yes. And I was just like, I'm home, So it felt the first time I was there a couple years ago, almost 3 years ago, was, like huge culture shock. But this time it felt very homey, like I'd been there before. I have friends there, dancer friends, directors, and it just felt like home.
Yeah. Get it.
It was good.
I feel like Cha-Cha Bitch is like the Latin, like, electric slide.
Yes.
For us.
Yes.
I live for all of that. It is like me reliving my Selena moment all over again.
Right. Yes, exactly. And she'll get a new little, facelift when the remix comes out.
That's right.
And the kids will live.
Yes. Now, let's talk about your I still call them albums. Like, is that appropriate to call them
albums? Like
still?
the songs are albums?
Yeah, like your
records.
Your records. Yeah.
Records,
so you have 3.
Yes.
The first 2 were Fag Out, Volume 1 and 2.
Yes, Volume 1 and 2. Yes,
and then,
she knows.
Well,
Yes.
I do my research. And then you currently have Mr. Soto.
Yes.
What, as you produce each album, like, how did you feel? Did you feel like a transition between each one? Were there a different story that you were trying to tell with each one?
Yes.
Like, what was your creative process making these albums?
So the first 2 albums, well, Fag Out Volume 1 was just me kind of just coming out the gate, like just had everything to say. And, I was like, I'm butch, I'm feminine, I'm a little grungy, I'm not very WeHo, but I'm not too Silver Lake. I kind of fall in between. But yeah, I'm like, I love culture and art, and I always vibe with New York, but I'm like an East LA boy, and just like everything that I had to say, and out of that came Banshee Power, Butch Beat, hip hop, fashions, Get Down, Dirty Boys, like just everything. The second one, Fag Out Volume 2, I was living in New York, and that was more artsy, underground, very experimental, and very vibey. And then Mr. Soto, for me, so at that time, there was the gay rap movement, and everyone was kind of, putting me in a box where it was just like, oh, you're a gay rapper, or you're a singer, are you a stylist, are you a dancer, like what are you, a choreographer, or you're Latin, can you be banji, or can you do ballroom music, or can you do house, like what is this, rap, like I don't get it, So I wanted to kind of just not step away from that, but just kind of confuse people even more.
Yeah. You are all about confusing people.
I was just like,
you are all about confusing people and putting them through the trenches.
I was like, gay rapper, I'll show you. So then Mr. Soto came about, and I just really wanted to play on my Latin influences, and and let people know that yes, I'm Mexican, 100%, full-blooded. I grew up in LA. I was born in LA. And I could be banji, I could be cunt, I could be, raunchy, I could be butch, I could be feminine, I could be all those things.
Yeah.
And Mr. Soto was more like an homage of going back home, going back into a community that has been very homophobic and not accepting and very machismo, and kind of come out again in a new way and inspire my Latin roots and all my Latin community to, you know, step outside the box, come out, live their life.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Soto, naming the album Mr. Soto was actually also an homage to my dad.
Yeah.
Just kind of like out of respect. And I wanted to just play with all of the genres of music that I listened to growing up.
Yeah.
Because growing up, you know, as a minority in LA, you know, you kind of look down and like listening to like mariachi music and banda music and Tejano music was just kind of like, you know, it was just kind of like looked down upon.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, I'm going to embrace that. And
Yeah.
like, I kind of wanted to just bring it and make it my own. And so Mr. Soto had that very Latin influence, but still keeping house in there and keeping dance music, because I love to dance at the end of the day.
Yeah.
High energy, you know, fun music to dance to. So that's how Mr. Soto came about.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love seeing like just like this evolution of like with each project that you do, there's like a different thing that you're trying to say and convey through your music, which I enjoy. So, because I remember seeing Banshee Power,
Right.
That's when we first met.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this?
Who is she? What's she
I was
trying
like,
to
what
do
is it?
over there? Right. I don't get it.
I felt like Karen from
Right.
Goes, what is this? What's happening? What's
Right,
this?
right. That was in 2009. I was giving you like the Banshee, Baggy Silhouette. I was giving you Jeremy Scott before Jeremy Scott was giving, you know, like, and it was just like, I was just having fun with it. And it was just like 10 dancers deep. We recorded that in like a warehouse in downtown LA, and we were dancing for like 8 hours. It was just fun, you know? And so, Good times. Good times.
I feel like every track that I hear from you, it is just fun, and you can tell that you're just having fun with it.
Yes.
Which I feel like a lot of people, you know, they're creative musically, but they just can't have fun with it because they have so many restrictions and things like that. And I mean, one thing that allows your musical freedom is the fact that you're not with a label.
Right.
Does that make it harder to produce and work on your music, or like how do you feel about just being an independent artist and not having those rules and regulations behind you?
Well, there's pros and cons. I mean, it's definitely harder, you know, working independently because you have to fund everything, you have to organize everything, you have to create everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's the beauty of it. That's the freedom, because I could wake up and say, you know what, I did a Latin song yesterday, but today I'm gonna do like something completely different, and I'm gonna do booty bass music, and I'm gonna do a video for it, or I'm gonna do house, you know. So there's no restrictions. So that's I'm my own boss. I'm the creative director. I get to say and do anything without the label telling me, oh well, you have to be Latin or people aren't gonna get it. You have to do another cha-cha bitch. You have to, you know, keep making Latin music, or what do you mean house, or what do you mean you're gonna rap now? And so there's pros and cons, you know. But I do think that, you know, the industry puts a lot of restrictions on people. So, you know, you see a lot of people not being open with their sexuality. A lot of, you know, people here in Hollywood, the dancers, choreographers, transitioning into singing, you know, they're still in the closet, and there's, you know, there's, you can tell that there's something there that's being
contrived.
Yeah. And so you kind of just you sit there and you watch it, and you're still kind of waiting for something like, are they gonna give it to me? Are they gonna give it to me? Oh, they didn't give it to me. And it's a little disappointing, but at the same time, you know, they're trying to get on, and they're trying to like market to an industry that, you know, is very tough to break into and be authentic and gay, and there's a formula, you know, but I believe that you can break that formula. And if you really have the courage to, you know, not struggle, but if you have the courage to bite the bullet for a while, you know, there could be a light at the end of the tunnel.
You know, it kind of,
or a queen at the end of the tunnel. Like, hey, girl, you see me? I'm right here.
Can you imagine? Yes, bitch. Yes, I'm here.
So the cha-cha bitch thing came with the inspiration behind that. The choreography for me was the little cha-cha girl, the emojicon on the phone. The little girl that goes
that's like this.
That's like, that's where that came from.
Shut up.
Cha-cha. Yeah.
I love that.
Part of the inspiration.
Oh, because like you sent me that.
I did, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. They're my favorite emojis these days. The little girl and the little cactus. And the rose, because it's just very like Latin. You know?
It is very Latin. I love that. Well, the little emoji girl, thank you for the cha-cha, because we wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
With talking about just like, you know, people kind of coming into their own musically, it reminded me of some of our 90s, you know, pop stars, so to say, like when Pink first came out. And they tried to make her very like hip-hop R&B.
Right.
And we were like, okay, we can get with it. But then she came out with her second album. We were like, wait a minute.
Right.
You know, this isn't the same.
Right.
But I like this person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also like people like Christina Aguilera, who came out like real sweet and innocent. We're like, listen, we got that in Britney. What can you do? And she was like, well, I'm just gonna go totally left.
Right.
And we like that. You know, so I feel like sometimes record labels, they may have good intentions, but you never know, you know, how someone can be received musically. Right. So I love the fact that you don't have that restriction and you can be your fabulous self, because all this can't be contained in.
Right. Could you imagine being signed to a label right now? They would be like, you want to wear a pink mariachi suit? Where? No. They would be like, get you in like a regular outfit, go over there and do press, and I would just be like a working hoe for the record company. You know?
Just be like a mannequin, just like, dress me up.
Right. Yes.
Let me do it.
And so, I mean, you have to play the game, and there's formulas. I know that the record industry is, you know, they have to sell records and everything like that. But, you know, everything, you know, there's a lot of people that come into the game and change it. Jennifer Lopez changed the game. Lady Gaga changed the game.
Well, first of all, J-Lo changed the game by, we were like, wait a minute.
Right.
You can sing?
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah.
But Selena can sing.
Right. And they don't give her that much credit. I mean, she slays.
She does.
She keeps changing the game.
Yeah. Oh, when she opened her mouth at the American Music Awards?
Yes.
I was like...
Right. Exactly. Is that you, girl? Yeah.
I was like, that's not a track?
She don't play.
Yeah.
They hate, but she don't play.
She doesn't. Yeah. She doesn't. And you don't either. Like, you are really like full force and throttle with your music and stuff. And I appreciate that. And I hope that people are continuing to be inspired just to be themselves and be their authentic self. And do you, and you'll have fun doing it. Right. And everything else will come from that.
Right. And I think that's why I work so hard, because I'm just having a good time. I love what I do. No one's telling me what I should do. I'm just like, I wake up and I'm just like, you know what? This would be a great idea for a video. And I put that out into the universe and like, I make that happen. So I think that's what... I guess to the outside world, it seems like I'm working hard, but I'm just really having a good time. And I'm just like more so giving birth to these ideas so that they can just live on even before me. So I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
Now, out of all of the songs that you have written, like what's one that's like really personal to you? If you can choose one. I feel like that's always such a tough question. It's always like, which one's your favorite one? It's like they're all on. That's why they made the album.
Right. They're all like my babies. I would say Fashions is like is one that just kind of encompasses like the aura, the energy of like the flavor of what I am about. But then See Me is like is deeper, like on a more like intimate level, you know, for like people to get to know me like behind the drag and like, you know, who I really am as a person and things like that. So I would say Fashions and See Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what's coming up for you? Because I mean, we just got into 2016. Right. And I know that you have a lot coming up. Some you can mention, some you can't. Right. But what is coming up? What's next for you?
So there's definitely going to be a proper tour coming this year, probably March, April, something like that. More music videos. I'm going to release some stuff soon, because that can change. And then I always get like, you know, people are like, well, you said a week, you said a month, and then it doesn't come out, you know. So new videos. I want to finish videos for this Mr. Soto album, and then eventually start working on a new album, because why not? She has a lot of, she's been traveling, she's inspired, she's grown a lot this year. She has more things to say. Maybe she's gonna tackle country next. I don't know, you know, she's just gonna she's gonna watch me. You don't think I'll make country hot?
You know what?
Could you imagine?
No. I'm almost scared to be like, you can't do country
Right?
because then next thing I know,
Right.
it'll be you,
Right.
very country twang,
Country.
and I'll be like,
Right.
this heifer
Right. She
went
did
out
it.
and did a country
She
album.
did
You better
that.
get your life, Carrie Underwood. I live.
Okay. So yeah, more music.
Yeah.
The Rue stuff will come out. The video, the remix, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
And a few more little secret projects that she can't talk about because they make you sign contracts and exclusivity things.
I know there's one thing in that contract that says if you tell, you owe, and I'm not trying to tell.
No, I'm not trying to owe.
Yeah.
So yeah. Touring, new videos, music, shows, girl, shows.
Is there anything else that you want to do outside of music? Like, because a lot of people come in and they're like, yeah, I want to do music. I eventually want to have my own line. I want to do this, that. What else would you want to do outside of the musical box, if any?
That has nothing to do with entertainment?
Or, yeah, whichever. The world is your oyster.
Right?
Take the pearl, girl.
Right. Well, I mean, I love to teach. I love to teach dance. I've been getting a lot of requests to like teach dance. Want to do that. Acting is always something that I've wanted to do, you know. Activism.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what that really looks like. I mean, I think I'm an activist through my music and just the performance of it all.
Yeah.
I like to travel, but at the same time, I kind of just want to live in a small town and wake up and just feed my dog and like have a backyard and
Sounds
bake
so domestic.
so domesticated.
Yeah.
I just been you know. She travels a lot. She does a lot of things.
Sometimes you just want that moment just to breathe.
Yeah.
And just relax.
To just wake up and make her little green smoothie and just.
I feel like I'm going to see you on an episode of like Tiny House or something. And it's like on this like little secluded island. You know, a beach where you can just kind of just like live your life and just like sit out on your deck and sunbathe and like do all that.
Cooking with AB Soto, something. I don't know. I want it all.
Yeah.
I want it all.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
We all do. But the great thing about it is that you can have it all. As long as you continue working hard and doing you.
Right.
You can have everything.
Yes.
Opulence.
Yes, she is everything. She
owns
it.
Everything.
Yes, girl. Yes. Exactly.
Well, before we have to wrap things up, I want people to be able to connect with you and to find out where you're going and all the things that are happening with you.
Yes.
So let the children know where they can find you via social media.
Yes. My website is absoto.com. Instagram, because she's very popular on Instagram these days.
Yes.
AB Soto. Twitter is AB Soto Music. And what else? Oh, Facebook. There's a Facebook music page. She's got a personal page.
Yes.
Find me there. And YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, AB Soto.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you, AB, for coming in and cha-chaing with me and kikiing and having a great time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And I wish you much, much success in 2016. And it's going to be just as amazing as the other years.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yay.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the concert experience with the one and only, the fabulous Mr. AB Soto. I've been your host, Tony Moore. You can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. We're going to leave this with you. This is See Me by the one and only Mr. AB Soto. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Cha-cha, bitch.
Let you see me. I'm gonna let you see me. I'm gonna let you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.